Yes, I can. See if as host you can unmute all.
This guy here is the host. Currently, it's showing there's only one. And that's this one.
I'm showing 4 participants, including you.
And
Can you hear me now?
Okay, Sue is unmuted.
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go.
Hi.
Hi.
we see that you've
And
unmuted.
Jerry iPhone is unmuted.
Oh,
Can you
Now the
can hear
problem-
me now?
this problem's now on our end, so
Good
no
God.
worries about
Sure.
there's the volume.
I didn't bring a jacket. I know. You might want, you don't have one. Hold in here. Let's see. If the iPhone goes there.
Phil, could you do me a favor and
Sorry?
I'm talking to Phil.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
if you go ahead and
Mute.
put your mute, it might result in feedback, but I'm just curious to see if you can hear me talk.
Okay, let me turn on my speaker. Okay, speak.
So
You can wear my
Yeah.
scarf.
Okay, my speakers are muted again.
were you able to hear through the speaker? It was hard to tell.
One more time. I turn my speakers on again. No, I don't think so.
There is an audio problem. Oh wait, I should be able to see. Yeah, this is the weirdest Zoom meeting I've ever seen. This guy sees there's only one participant. This is on the wrong Zoom meeting.
Aha.
25, right? Yes, we don't have 21.
The wrong Zoom.
Oh, we're on the right there.
So join.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but they're still having.
840.
Right, certainly has a lot of technical skills, but far more, but
79.
that's kind of a complicated.
40 735 7 027 5 problem is that
Turn on.
It's
I'm calling Mimi.
You've reached the Griner residence. Please leave a message at the tone, and we'll call you back as soon as possible.
Hi, Mimi. Sue Chapu. We're trying to get on the Zoom call now. It's what, 1:20 on Thursday for the cultural arts. So if you can check your email and get on the Zoom. Hope to see you. Hi.
Sue,
Yeah.
I've got Sue on the phone. Sue, you can't hear the meeting on Zoom?
No. Have you started it?
No, we're trying to get everybody involved.
Yeah. Do you want me to just jump in the car and come over?
Well, if you can't hear us on Zoom,
Hello, Sue and John.
Oh,
Can
now
you
I
hear
am.
me?
Now I'm hearing Jerry.
Okay, the problem is you guys have to be, you are so soft, I won't be able to take notes.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
I can hardly hear anybody and I have my volume all the way up.
okay. Now, where are you, Jerry? At home?
Let me see if I can.
Are
Sue's
you?
gonna hang up my phone.
Oh,
Okay,
that's better. I got it.
okay.
Oh, good. I can hear.
And I can hear you.
Good, good, good. Thank you. John, can you hear?
Are you at
I don't
home,
have-
Jerry?
I don't have John.
Are you at home?
I'm at home.
I could jump in the car and come to your house.
And because I wanted to type directly on my laptop.
Yeah. Do you want me to jump in the car and come to your house?
Well, what difference where are you?
Home? No, as
Well,
long
but
as
I
we
can-
can, well, as long
I
as we
can
can.
hear and see you.
Okay. Okay. And we have a quorum. Yes. Is John there yet?
Well, John was there. I'm gonna go out and come back in. Because I only have you on this iPhone link. I
Hey,
think
guys,
that's what.
I
Oh,
think we're
he's
okay.
there.
We
Okay.
solved it. Okay, this is not at all kosher what I'm doing here, but we got it working.
Okay, great. Let's go.
So, all
Approve the
right.
minutes.
My apologies for all of that. Like I said, I felt like I was running a goat rodeo here. But you guys can see on the screen the agenda, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's call to order. The time is 1:23 p.m. And present we have myself, John Badger, we have Sue Chapu, we have Jerry Welsh, Phil Barth. We have Tamara Turner and Wesley Barrow and Mimi Briner. All right.
Who
And-
isn't there?
Those who are not here are Ivy Margolis and that's it. So we definitely have a quorum.
Great.
Not
Okay,
that that
good.
happened.
I can type all the names in later.
Yeah,
I'll just put Ivy and do I have to show who's Zoom? I think I do.
yeah.
No?
I'm not sure how, I think it's a lot
Remote?
more lax now, but yeah, Ivy's not here. We can just put that in the notes.
And shall I
And
say
yeah.
Sue and I are remote?
That, sure. I don't think we care anymore whether someone's remote or in person.
I'm not gonna do it then. Save space and typing.
All right, cool.
Okay, ready to roll.
All right, so we have the agenda in front of us and I'll scroll slowly through from last time. And let's see, July 18th, August 8th, and September 5th. Yeah. Movie night. Christmas fair. And so anyone want to move to approve the agenda minutes?
I so move. We need a second.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor of approving the prior meeting minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone not want to? Okay, the meeting minutes from the previous meeting have been approved, and now we're ready to move on to new business. Let's see. Oh, actually, we skipped over a section, which is oral communication for items not on the agenda. You'll note that there's nothing on here regarding PV Palooza. I think I already mentioned it last time, but it's just a reminder that while the date of the PV Palooza makes sense to discuss it because we will want to make mention of it in communications to the town or to the community about music events this summer. It's not this committee's purview anymore regarding PV Palooza. The date is still planned for June 1st. We have yet to receive final approval. But I believe we have final approval for the other dates this summer. We'll dive into that in a little bit. Also, the other oral communications not on the agenda is that this is our first non-Brown Act meeting, which is why you got your agenda package yesterday instead of a week ago yesterday, which
Yeah.
is good news. It makes it a lot less work. We don't have to be here, all of us. We can dial in and we still are part of a quorum. So if there aren't any questions on those oral communications, we can dive into new business. All right, cool. So updates on the summer concert series. So let me jump over to the town portal. One of these is the town portal. So let me get, oops. There we go. Let me. All right, you guys can still see my screen, right? Yep. All right, so I'm gonna go to the town portal to just check on the approval of our dates. Cloud, here we go. This is the approval, sorry, this is the submission to the town of the Summer Concert Series #1, which is scheduled for 7/18/2024. And you can see that it was reviewed by the front desk. It's been reviewed by Carrie Chin. It's been reviewed by the town manager or assistant town manager. And then the last thing is this, that'll be when it gets added to the calendar. So we have almost any day now, I would expect that this will pop up on the town calendar. So that is the first of the committee. Sorry, the first of the town, the PD Summer Concert Series concerts. Now let's log me out. I want to go through each of those just to make sure that we're in good shape on each of the applications. There we go. I go to my account and I go to my applications. And this is the one here that we just looked at, and it's in good shape. Let's look at the next one. This is the Summer Concert Series number 2. And you can see that its date is for August 8th, 2024. There you go. It's Summer Concert Series number 2. And this one has gotten to that same status that we just discussed. And so now let's look at the third Summer Concert Series. And that's this one. Oh, that's strange. It is still not, why would they not? I sent these all in on the same day, maybe because it's not as urgent. Anyway, the September 5th date has not yet been reviewed by the front desk, so I can ask about that. And by the way, that same status is on this one, which is PV Palooza. And so we're kind of stuck on that front desk, and I don't know why, but anyway. So our events this summer are unfortunately not yet approved, but hopefully they will be imminently because we need to get started with planning for them. So that's the update in terms of dates for the Summer Concert Series. Now let me go back to where I was before. There we go. The agenda, we talked about the updates on the Summer Concert Series. Oh, one important update is last time we talked about 3 bands. Dates are not yet assigned to bands, but all 3 bands are like, we just have to pick which one makes the most sense. It doesn't really matter, but the 3 dates we've just gone through, and the 3 bands were Ticket to Ride, which was a Beatles cover band. Bundy Brown and Guitar Gypsy, which is a jam band, fantastic jam band. And then another one was the Wobbly World, which is Cuban, Freddie Clark and Wobbly World. So great 3, very different 3 bands. Thing is, I'm not getting callbacks from Ticket to Ride. So another band has stepped in and they're really good. They are called the Fog City Ramblers. Same price point. I think we're just going to swap these guys in. They do not CCNR. Creedence Clearwater. They can just do a full Creedence Clearwater cover, but they already did that a few years ago, like 5 years ago. They were here and they did that. But they have another platform which is just hits from the 70s and 80s, and they're good.
I think we need that. I think we need a kind of a cover, at least one cover band. I think
Yeah.
all original in terms of like people getting the music and singing.
John, can you hear me?
Yeah, so we have, unfortunately, in terms of audio, because of the hack that we did to get this audio working, you're not hearing anybody but me. But what Tam was just saying is she thinks it's a good idea to have a cover band. Since we're swapping out a Beatles cover band, let's swap in another cover band. These guys are really good. And what I love about the, they just didn't respond, and these guys did, and, so we could do Ticket to Ride next year. Maybe he's busy, I don't know, but these guys were all over it, and, I would love to have Ticket to Ride, but
I think everybody loves the Beatles. I think they go crazy for them, for the city.
yeah. So Fog City Rambler, Fog City Ramblers, they have played back when Page was doing it like 5 years ago. They played here, and for that they did the Creedence Clearwater cover, where the whole thing is Creedence Clearwater, kind of like the Fleetwood Mac one. So single band cover.
Wow.
They also have a package which is, and since they've already done that, I say we switch it up for something new. The something new, we can go between either just general 70s and 80s, or they've got a Middle America, which is like John Cougar Mellencamp. What's the guy from Pittsburgh? He's so popular. He's like a Springsteen, and then there's a, oh, sorry, Jersey, bad move. And then there's a third band that they have, of course, Jersey, not exactly Middle America, but anyway, that's their other package. And I'm actually not at all a fan of any of those three, but it's a female musician and she just absolutely crushes the vocals, has a great vibe, and she's like really good. And that music they all know. But you know what? I had a call with the band leader and I just said, what would you recommend? And he recommended that just going for the general,
So pop.
yeah, 70s and 80s. And they'll cover a variety of great songs. And if you can go look them up on YouTube, I guarantee you'll love them. And she's just a great.
My concern is that, like a lot of the people that come are younger people with kids, families, and I think that, you know, like certain, yeah, we're not appealing to them at all. I mean, like Freddie Clark is not gonna appeal to those families. I mean, and he's played here before, and I don't think, he's here like 2 years ago, I think.
Was he
And-
here that
Yeah,
recently?
he's been here. Yeah, Freddie Clark. I know him because he took Pilates from me, but he, I think we need to, because there, I mean, I see a lot of young families and kids, and something pop that is more, maybe not seven, I mean, some of these people weren't even born until the 90s, and then their kids are, you know, kids that were born at the most 10 or 12 years ago, and I think we need to at least have one of the bands
Mhm.
be that generation of people. I really think, not to say that we're, you know, not progressive.
Yeah.
Those kind of things, but there are a lot of young families now. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but there's like little kids,
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
I'm in it.
So,
you have little kids, yeah.
I have 2 9-year-olds, but I'm on the older side.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
but
I
you
still
have,
get
but
the
they,
70s and 80s, but most of them
but the
are
kids,
10 years younger than me, and
yeah, and the kids
Yeah.
don't either, and I want to appeal to the kids,
kids
you know,
do.
like
yeah,
somebody that maybe does like Taylor Swift, you know, covers, and, you know, because that's what these young kids are listening to, and
right.
we can't just focus on our demographic, it's.
That's a good point.
We're not the majority anymore,
Yeah, that's a good point.
you know, so
So,
like, I think it's cool to have one band that is.
no,
I
that's,
think
your point's well made, Tim.
It's like, like the last time I was here, when I was with my granddaughter.
So, Tim, your point was made. And I like it. I think we should make sure to,
People Give up, and I'll find somebody that's covered, that's like that.
well, so there are definitely other options. And there is a police cover band, for example, that brings it. That's
Sting is
It-
ancient.
Sting
Yeah,
is still
come
agent.
on,
So you're
like-
talking about like,
I'm talking about current Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, current artists that kids love. That
So-
if you want the families to come and enjoy and have fun, you can't just have the retro
yeah,
music. It's just not gonna, I mean, you have 9-year-olds, do they listen? Yeah, they probably know who the Beatles are and they know who the Rolling
they live on
Stones are.
Imagine
but-
Dragons.
Yeah.
oh, that would be cool.
So
Finding,
cover bands that are maybe one band that's younger and covers younger music
Uh-huh.
would be nice. I would be happy to fill that spot if you want me to do that.
Yeah, well, let's look at the different options.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, let's definitely look at that. So I don't know if you guys were able to hear the dialogue because of the audio situation, but Jerry and Sue, did you hear the dialogue?
Kind
Well,
of, yeah.
Okay,
Good.
so the point is to try and bring in sort of a cover band that covers a decade that's a little more recent than 30 years ago. So, okay,
I don't know,
so
they've all been great, John, and thank you. And I think we have fine
we might-
participation.
we might be a little late in the game, but we'll give it a shot. And we're gonna probably tick off some bands because we got them on calendars and we got it all reserved. But if we want to, it's up to us to make the changes. The only thing I would recommend is that if we're gonna make a change like that, we need, to make
let
it
me see if I can
sooner
get
than-
one that does that type of, that genre. I mean, she's watching the Grammys and like, okay, none of the music you're talking about is close to that.
yeah.
People block that on the show.
So we do need to be careful about artist relations. If you make a commitment to a band, we don't want to back out of it. But
No.
let's definitely give it a shot. I think it's a great point.
I think the community is more important than the band.
Yeah,
Right.
if you booked found a spot for Bundy and Gypsy in PV Palooza.
We didn't. We took them out of PV Palooza,
We,
and there's no room in PV Palooza. That's full. But we could.
that could be the spot though, if we wanted to adjust that.
Are they that kind of a band?
That would be an awkward thing to do, given the dialogue that, I mean, we've been talking about this for months. We started talking about this in September. And so now 6 months later, we're changing it up with artists who we've already made commitments to. And there's a certain degree of integrity. There's a certain degree of integrity. There's a certain degree of integrity that goes along with making a commitment to a band. And I do think that we want to keep that level of commitment. So I think in the case of Bundy Brown, that would not be the one that I would swap out.
Got it.
But perhaps we can look at one of the other ones.
Wait, is Bundy Brown like a?
He's a local musician, Mohammed, and he's a blues player.
Works at Robert's Hardware.
Yeah. He's an old timer around here.
Oh, he wants in.
No, he doesn't want in.
We
He
booked him.
he was amazing. His band, Bundy Brown and Guitar Gypsy, were the band that they did just a phenomenal performance. And when they were over, I had like 5 people come up and say, "Oh my God, is there any way they could just keep going?" Because they just had the audience just
So why
Love
is
him.
he coming back? Sure.
They're playing the concert series.
because at that time,
Oh, they're in the concert.
They are.
yeah. They're one of the bands that I just mentioned in the concert series. So we got Bundy Brown and Guitar Gypsy. We've got Freddie Clark and Wobbly World, and we've got Fog City Ramblers. Those are the 3. And your point's well taken. We should look at
Did we already, was that discussed at a prior meeting?
every meeting since September. We've brought that up and gone through all of that
Oh, last night?
multiple times. Yeah, we did. That was the last, those 3 bands were brought up in the last several meetings.
Yeah.
Ticket to Ride stopped being responsive. Fog City Ramblers contacted us. I said we were full. Then realized that we had an extra spot because the Ticket to Ride wasn't being responsive. But Ticket to Ride, by the way, has exactly the same problem you're just mentioning. In fact, it's Beatles is even older than,
Well, I think Beatles and Creedence are totally different. I mean, Beatles are like
It's-
fundamental, even kids.
oh, so to be clear, Creedence is not on the list. It's a general,
Say, if we weren't gonna have Ticket to Ride, maybe we should have something that appeals to the younger population, the kids, you know? You know what I mean?
So again, your point is taken, but let's be, your point is taken, but let's just be consistent because Beatles is in the same category that we were just saying was problematic. So let's move to go with keeping Bundy Brown because that's kind of a commitment and it's a small community and I wouldn't want to like.
I already said who I found. I wasn't saying Bundy Brown.
Right, so Freddie Clark, I think, could be one candidate to bump. And another one would be this the Fog City Ramblers. That's another one to bump. So, but let's first figure out if we can get someone, and it needs to be on a pretty quick timetable. But let's figure out if there are bands that dad bands. There are a dime a dozen that find really good bands that cover the music that's sort of that we all know about from our age group. I'm not as familiar with bands that cover music, but let's find them. Let's find them. Cool.
I think, you know, I mean, you're on the committee and you have 9-year-olds, I think that would be appropriate to, you know what I mean? Like, I just felt like when I was here, I was like, wow, there's all these little kids and they would love, I mean, they, Taylor Swift and her sound is like, gospel, it's like. You
As
know,
long as it's good, they have to be, you know, at a caliber of musicianship that works for this, for the
Yeah.
the caliber. Okay, cool.
How much time? do you
I would say we need to
that
get a list of candidates.
by the next meeting or?
Well, no, that's way too, like, there's so many things that are taking way longer this year. Yeah, so let's get a list of candidate bands to be evaluated by next week. And then just text me and we'll do the legwork to figure it out. And then we will, at the next meeting, we will
Do you have
approve.
deposits already? Is that okay?
no, I was hoping next week to start with contracts and all that, but we won't. We'll make this change. And again, next year, if we're going to be changing artists out, let's do it in the fall, not in the almost
I'm not-
spring.
Listen, I don't want to rock the boat. I just think that.
So I'm agreeing with you, Tam. I'm just really concerned about the number of things that aren't locked in for this
Yeah.
coming summer. And every music event has got issues in that regard, and it's a pretty large amount of stress resulting from that because of all the things that got tossed up in the air from PV Palooza to the fact that the town isn't as responsive as I'm accustomed to from prior years. But the good news is it looks like with the exception of the September date, we have lock-in for those updates and we just need to get them on the calendar.
I'm attending a Zoom
Oh.
meeting right now. You missed Michael, the Woodside.
Is there a way to mute? Oh, no, 'cause
We'll call him back and have him come back right now. Oh,
I'm not able to mute attendees for some reason.
I'm looking down there, there's in the house, we can't get out the front door, we can't open the sliding. About that time.
I don't know who you looked at.
Because I talked to him and I said, I can't stay with you, I'm gonna leave you here alone. He said, I can't do it without reading the paperwork. Have you driven away? Cause he's only around the corner. All right, Lee, I'm the secretary, I gotta take the minutes. See you tomorrow. Is Lee? God's sakes.
John, can you go to the participants list? and clean that?
I tried to, but when I did, it asked me for a code that I don't have. There's normally a piece of paper here every week with all of the instructions, and this week there's none, so. Hey, Jerry, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. It was a Woodside Fire
Oh.
Inspector.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, we didn't have the ability to mute you. Normally, there's an ability to do so, but, okay, we're back at it.
Sorry
So,
about that.
No problem. All right, so summer concert series. So let's go ahead and motion to change the lineup, or attempt to change the lineup to incorporate a band that is more kid-friendly for one of the slots. And then also to do so by next week, let's do a subcommittee. I'll chair the subcommittee. Sounds like Tam, you want to be on it as well. Anybody else want to be on the subcommittee to select the replacement band by next week?
You know what I'll do? I'll just send you guys, I'll send you a little, you can listen to it, and then we can just have an email where it's just say yay or nay, or
Okay,
I'll send you like a sound file so you can hear, and then maybe you could play it for your kids. Sure. You know, because I'd like to see just one band that would be.
right, but I want to have us approve it from a musicianship and professionalism standpoint before we get kids approval, because the
For sure.
musician, we want to get a good band
No, obviously.
that, like, right.
And what's the price point?
It's up to $2,000.
Because maybe there's like, I'm trying to think of local bands that, you know, Ronnie Crawford might know. I mean, his band might play a lot of, people are gonna start playing the music that was just played at the Grammys. Like, they're gonna gravitate to that. If they're cover bands,
Right.
you know,
So,
if they just play pop, it's just like. Kind of like these guys play Creedence, you know, how old are they? Right? Like,
we get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm trying to get you to give me some, like, I have no idea what you pay the bands. I have no
Yeah, it's
idea.
$2,000.
Okay.
Okay, and then poet laureate town authors, anything there?
Sue?
Any up, Sue from the poet
Did we
laureate?
lose Sue? Um, uh, Sue and I were
Oh.
speaking with Mary Hufty, and the town council would really like to hear from our poet laureate, because Sue should be telling you this. We must have lost her. Sue spent over an hour with the county poet laureate and learned that we appointed, I always want to call her Lorena, but that's not her name. We thought she was just being honored and would maybe read a few poems to us, or maybe be at an event with authors for us. However, there are county duties. And so Mary Hufty is very interested in having her come to the town council and open the meeting. She said,
Oh,
there's
cool.
nothing that's pleasant anymore. We don't even say the Pledge to Allegiance, which I won't even go there. You probably know how I feel about that, loving kids and country. But so anyway, we need our poet laureate. We need to meet with our poet laureate, probably take our subcommittee, which before I believe was Sue, Mimi, and I, and anyone else is welcome to join it, and get in there and get her to come to a council meeting and take care of that. It'll have to go on our agenda, and then we have to get onto the town council agenda. And I wish Sue was the one that did all the legwork on this, so I wish she were the one speaking.
Okay, well, thanks for the update, Jerry. And so that subcommittee for the poet laureate is Sue, Jerry, and who Was the
Mimi
first
was on with
Mimi.
us before.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what are the action items for that between now and the next town? Sorry, and the next CAC meeting, or do we want to focus on the next town council meeting as when that would happen?
Well, again, I wish Sue were, I don't know how we lost her. She has terrible service for phone and Wi-Fi at her house.
Okay,
I think the action item should be that we need to meet, we need to get the date of the, we need to speak with Sarah Warnikoff and find out when would be a good agenda time between now and the end of the year, June. And get on their calendar and make sure that the laureate, Lenora, oh, I got her name. Lenora is able to attend that council meeting. Mary Hefty would like either, one of us to read the poem that our laureate wrote for Ken for his 90th birthday party last weekend at Win Farrar's house.
okay. So I guess probably the best thing is to find out what the dates are. My guess
Read
is
it
that,
already.
are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if we could start by going to the town website and getting the list of dates of the town council meetings. My guess is that that's public information.
mhm.
And then forward that list of dates to Lenora and ask her which of those would work. And then coordinate, it sounds like the best interface for this to the town council would be Mary Hufty, since she's involved, but we can CC, of course, me and also our town council liaison, who is Jeff Alves.
Right.
All of, so all of that
Shayla.
said, as a
Shayla.
non,
Sorry.
so all of that said, as a non-Brown Act committee as of this meeting, we are no longer a town council organization. We're no longer a town council organization. We are a committee under a non-Brown Act committee, which means that we're under the town manager, no longer under the
Correct.
town council.
Correct.
So for example, the chair of the committee is not appointed by the town council anymore. It's appointed by the town manager. That
Right.
allowed to be non-Brown Act. That's one of the transitions that happened. So therefore, I don't think that we have a town council liaison anymore. I'm not quite sure who our liaison is, but for now, let's just CC Jeff Alps, because I don't know what the new procedure is for that.
Yeah, I read it, and as I recall, we go directly to the town, to the manager and
Town
his
manager.
assistant. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, and the only other thing that's different, John, is we can meet without a quorum, but we can't vote on anything without a quorum.
Yes, that's right. Thank you for reading all that.
I'm going to put it in the minute.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so we do have 3 minutes left in the agenda. Do we have anybody who's not able to stay another, let's say, 5 minutes after the hour? Are we okay? Okay. So
Uh-oh.
movie night is the next one. So there is a subcommittee headed by Ivy, who's not here this time, for doing movie night. So let's table that unless there's any objection to that. Let's table that until the next meeting when Ivy's here. Wesley is here, so we can go into the Christmas fair. This year we have a lot of time ahead of us. So let's make the Christmas fair be what we were hoping to do last year.
I think the first thing that needs to happen is to settle on a date. With the city or with the town. And I haven't done the research to find out if anybody else is doing Christmas events yet. But we should probably check with, I don't know, the local organizations that have Christmas events and then try and settle on a date early and
Yeah.
plan for it.
And then last year, in terms of venue, did we decide on the community hall or did we decide on this room or I don't remember?
They didn't want us to do it in this room because of all this AV equipment.
Right, that makes sense.
And they didn't want us to do it in the community hall because there will be sales taking place, even if we don't do like the sales actually in the room. I propose that we set out a booth outside and do the sales actually outside in like a community space, and they wouldn't do that either because people would be talking about buying art.
I remember that.
And then, so they really proposed only the field. But during the winter time, I really don't think that that's so I'm not really sure where to
Well-
go with it because
So let's
yeah,
then figure out what the right venue is. Maybe the Woodside Priory. I think in years past,
Yeah.
it's been at the Woodside Priory.
mhm,
So we can contact Woodside Priory.
yeah,
And then the other thing is that it's not, the term is not charter, it's something else, but there are terms associated with the fact that the land here, or maybe some of the funds donated, had some strings attached that had to do with that.
mhm,
But there was a time cap that expires like imminently. It might even expire this year. So I don't know if next year that's even gonna be an issue.
that would be great.
So the one to ask is, you've seen emails in the past, Carrie Chin, you can just search your email for Carrie, K-R-I, Chin, C-H-I-N-N. And just CC me and say, hey, Carrie, are there, is the limitations that we had last year in terms of being able to do a commercial, that an event where funds exchange hands,
Mhm,
is that still an option? Is that still a problem for next year?
yeah,
It's,
Yeah.
if it's not this year, it's the next year. It's like coming right up.
yeah,
I don't know if it was against the rules, but we did collect, not cash, but we did have some people commit to funds. Remember when we had the little booth for PV Palooza? We
Yeah,
did
but
have like
that's
3
not-
different parties that actually committed to funds, so
Those were donations to the town. Because the towns, there was a fund at the town
right?
that was being used to pay for PV Palooza. And it wasn't indoor, it wasn't inside, it was out.
Okay, well, I was just thinking, what if you did like a outdoor booth and you made the funds go through the
Tried that.
town?
I proposed that
Oh.
and she shot it down.
The other thing is you don't want any funds going through the town.
Yeah,
That's why we're having to create this 501c3.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
no,
like, okay,
she said
Alright.
no.
Mm.
But I will reapproach that and ask her what we can do to try and, I mean, it would be wonderful to do it here. I
Yeah.
mean, but
But if we can't do it
but if
here,
we can't, yeah,
you can only go so far.
yeah.
And if the answer is always no, then we'll find someone who
What
knows how to
about,
say yes.
what about the Episcopal Church or the Presbyterian Church?
Oh, that's a good idea.
I mean, the Ladera Community Church did the art fair last summer
Mhm.
outside.
You mean the church? right there,
yeah,
right?
it's the Episcopal, they. 'cause
Yeah,
they did
we-
that, bell. You know, the night of the bells, you could do it in the afternoon and then maybe more
Mhm.
people would stay the night, I could get that date for you.
Mhm,
Um,
yeah,
Yeah, they both have good community halls.
you probably have to give a little bit of skim to them. That's all the churches.
All right.
Priory doesn't do that, but, so Priory did the fair for years, I doubt they'll do it again.
yeah,
It's because they didn't get their field. You know, so they felt like they're always giving to the town and back.
Oh, right.
You mean because they didn't get their artificial turf?
I think that was pretty much the end of like, we're tired of being on the giving end and never. Pretty short-sighted of it.
I'm personally, I'm glad they don't have artificial turf there.
You're not paying the water bill.
Mhm. Not
Okay.
giving the kids cancer either.
You know, the only other thing that's not
That's
on
the side
here
work.
that I thought was
can give
worth
you all the
mentioning,
Yeah,
documentation.
is the
I used to do
one gentleman who came in and talked about,
Pesticides.
Martin Luther
Can
King
we-
Day.
And outgassing.
Should we try and get that on the calendar for next January?
hey, I think there's too much audio crosstalk right now to be able to hear you. Can you try it again?
That's why football players have more kids with.
Go ahead.
There was a man who came and sat and proposed that we do some type of get together for MLK Day in January, but it was too late to do anything about it this year.
Yeah, it was John Silver.
Yeah, we should maybe try and put that on for next year.
Oh, John
though.
Silver, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
That's a
that,
good
that
idea.
should go on the agenda.
yes,
Because if you want to plan for it, we need to get that date, that in for next year too.
yeah, that's a good point. So,
And it's kind of a good time of year to, because there's nothing really else going on. Then,
right, okay, so, Jerry, just to make sure you heard what just was mentioned, first of all, we talked about the Christmas fair, and we're gonna lock down a date and a venue between now and the next meeting, and, Wesley's gonna take, the lead on that by contacting, Carrie Chin at the town, to check on dates, and hopefully we can get a venue that's here at the town center. That's an indoor venue, but if not, she'll be looking at alternatives at other local establishments where we could have it. And then the second point that she brought up, unrelated to the Christmas fair, is that we've got MLK happening. You'll recall that the last, or maybe not the last one, but yeah, I think it was the last Cultural Arts Committee, John Silver from the Race and Equity Committee was here and proposed an MLK event that sounded like a great event, but it was sort of too late in the day, or in the game to do it. So following up with John Silver on that for next year would be good. And, I think, so if you could add that as since that was not an agenda item, Jerry, if you could put that up under oral communications for items not on the agenda, that John Silver and.
So I have it already down. I'll move it up right now. I'll just write John Silver, because I'll remember. Just let me go to new business quickly and add John Silver. Oh, gosh, we got a lot of new business. Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's concert. New business, yeah.
Okay, perfect. The other thing I'll mention, as we adjourn is that AI note-taking is on for this meeting. I asked the town to turn it on, so we'll get AI notes as well, which is a new feature of Zoom.
Oh,
And sometimes they're remarkably bad, but they're definitely good to have. They're way better than nothing, but they're not as good as you would want.
Have Zoom do a transcript also.
Yeah, you could
can
do
they
it.
just do little bullets?
Yeah, I mean, you'll get a copy of the email, Jerry, and, or I will send it to you. And you'll see how much you like it. It's kind of a kick, how well it works. It's like a naive genius, completely clueless in some regards, and in other regards, it's like, wow, got all that.
Well, that'd be
It's pretty-
great if I don't have to type these things up every month.
Yeah, it's not as good as not having, there definitely is a review and editing aspect to it, that's for sure, but.
Because it took forever to get all of our names back in alphabetical order on the right and get everything centered and, playing with pages. And then I have to, turn everything into PDF so that you can actually open it.
Yeah, well, it's very much appreciated. Okay,
So
team,
it'd be
we're-
great if we didn't have to have a secretary.
we can
I wouldn't
rotate.
cry.
We can rotate that one, Jerry. I heard multiple people say that. So in fact, I think that was Tam. So Tam, if you want to split up that task, that would be good.
Thank you,
March
Pam.
14th. Next meeting is March 14th. And if you're around, Tam, or whoever wants to take notes next time. Okay, cool. All right, team. Thanks a ton. Oh,
So on the movie night, you haven't selected a date. Are James and I still responsible for
so
making that?
Ivy is,
Or does she have her own equipment and everything and she's gonna do it all?
no, she doesn't. She just wanted to kind of start the subcommittee on creating that. So in the next meeting, when she's here, assuming she is here, then we will have her
She's
coordinate
thinking like
with you.
summertime series or?
I don't know. I don't know. So, but in the last meeting, we talked about having a kids concert series and she expressed an interest in making it happen.
Concerts?
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
no.
I meant movie night.
Oh,
So listen to what I mean, not what I say.
well, we did it the last time, so like if I have a date, we can do, because we have the screen and we have the, but, you know.
Yes, I think it's a great event. So when Ivy's here, we will discuss that. I know,
So
it's
we
better
really-
to,
I know what we thought about using the MUR,
yeah,
you know, and maybe doing it like late spring, because there's nothing late spring, that's what we had talked about really early on, but I don't know, I haven't met Ivy yet, but summer for us is probably not as good. This spring, I could probably teach you how to use all the equipment, but it is fun when it's outside, but
okay,
harder to make. Decisions.
cool. All right, guys, we are at 2:10. Let's go ahead and adjourn, and we will see you at the next meeting on March 14th, 2024 at 1 PM. And between now and then, I will communicate whether I plan to be here in person or do it via Zoom. I might actually be in New York City. And so therefore, if anybody is interested in doing, it's no longer required to be here in person. So if we just want to do a Zoom meeting, we can, but we'll figure out in advance. Okay, team. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Let's see what I can.